Hi, I'm Charlie, and this is Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders. Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders is available both as a podcast, wherever you get great podcasts, and on video on our YouTube channel, Cooking Secrets for Men. So today, I'm pleased to have as my guest, Maudwella Kirkendoll.
Thank you for having me.
Great to see you. So Maudwella is the COO of Community Advocates, which is a nonprofit here in Milwaukee, dealing with grassroots needs of people, that as base as it gets, people basic needs, and trying to live live with dignity, I guess, is part of what you guys say.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll talk about Community Advocates and its role in the community and the things that are going on. But I like to always start at the beginning, so we talk about where you grew up. So tell me, I know you're from Milwaukee. You're born and raised here?
Born and raised in Milwaukee.
So talk about how your early years helped set the stage for who you are.
Okay, cool. Yeah, again, born here in Milwaukee, in the 53210 zip code, /06. So we're like not far from each other. When you hear about the 53206 zip code, hear all the negative things that come out of that. I mean, the highest crime rate, poverty, teen pregnancy, et cetera, et cetera. But, growing up, I saw more than that. I saw the positive side of it. Love being in that zip code, love the feeling of family, like neighbors were neighbors, kids can be outside, they can play all day long. And so I think for me, I saw that, but I also saw the poverty. And I think growing up for me, I just always said I wanted to be able to make a change, and for those who are struggling, be able to provide some type of support where they're moving from that point of struggling to just sustaining and living a normal life.
Right. So you mentioned 53206 and both the positive and negative. So on the positive side, some of our city leaders and some of the most successful people have come from 53206. The mayor's from 53206. David Crowley, Gwen Moore, Andre Lee Ellis, all been on the show. But there's many success stories, and Andre Lee will be glad to tell you all about how wonderful 53206 is.
Yes, so, definitely.
So you end up going to college. You went to UW Whitewater.
Correct.
Both a bachelor's and a master's degree.
Correct.
So I usually ask this, and everybody kind of laughs. Did you have a plan?
I had no, honestly, I'll take that back. So my first year, I started at UW Milwaukee. The plan was to go to, I wanted to be a doctor and go to medical school. But again, I think that, growing up in that environment, being the first person in my family to go to college, I was not prepared. And to be quite honest, I think, I started that first semester and I was there for maybe a month and a half and figured out I just was not ready.
Right.
And then I started my journey at Milwaukee Area Technical College. And I think that's where I really began to understand the importance of education, spending time studying, dedicating myself to, if you want something, you have to work for it. And it started there, and then I later on transitioned to UW Whitewater, where I obtained my bachelor's and then my master's in school business administration.
Well, so after graduation, and you're not alone because, most people didn't have a clue what they were going to do, you worked as a housing advocate.
Correct.
Helping people avoid eviction and help have stable home lives. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my initial job at Community Advocates was, I did what we call rent abatement. So we worked closely with the city building inspector, and we went out to homes that were not in the best condition, sometimes in conditions where they needed to be condemned, and basically work to get the landlords to make repairs, and if the landlord failed to make repairs, help get tenants into something that's safe, stable, and affordable. And so that was like my first interaction of just seeing some of the worst situations and seeing the poverty that individuals lived in, and just wanting to really make a difference in that aspect. And I think that's kind of had carried me forward. I mean, to be quite honest, my plan was to be at Community Advocates for 6 months. And that literally was my plan.
How'd that work out 26 years later?
26 years later, I'm still there. I love the job. I love the staff. We have great leadership. Our CEO, Andi has been a great mentor. And again, I think when we'll talk about my mentorship at some point, I think she's been a mentor in the sense that she's not one of those that talks a lot. She's not out in the public, but she does it by action. And you see her being humble and trying to form partnerships and alliances around issues that will get people from a point of being in poverty to sustainability.
So you've had a series of jobs at Community Advocates.
Yes.
And now you're the COO. And how long have you been the COO?
I've been in this business for about 10 years now.
10 years. So talk about the mission of Community Advocates and some of the work that's being done in the community on behalf of our residents.
Yeah, definitely. Again, when we talk about our mission, we mention advocacy and services so that people may live with dignity and respect. And I think ultimately, my passion for a community advocate, my passion for the work is that I want to see everyone be able to have a normal life where they're living in dignity and respect. And I think oftentimes because of situations, people, they lack the wherewithal to even think about having that dignity and respect and like getting to that point of just having, again, I keep talking about sustainability. I think getting to that point where things are stable so they can focus on other things like their health care, their kids' education, and things of that nature. And so that's kind of carried me forward into the work that I'm doing now.
Well, it's a great organization. So I know you do work with the mentoring with young men at the youth correctional facility. So that's an important aspect. That's more of a personal thing.
Correct. That is a
so talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I was invited to speak. Actually, a couple things. So there was the Racine Correctional Youth Facility. So there's young men ages 14 and maybe 25 or something like that. And I went in just to kind of talk about my story. Growing up in the inner city, dealing with adversity. When I talk about adversity, my mom passed away when I was 11. My dad kind of struggled with substance abuse disorder, and we just kind of what we maintained. And there was always, even though my dad struggled and with those things, he was always there, always present, always expected things from me. He didn't expect me. He had high expectations for me.
Sure.
And so for me, college wasn't an option. He was like, "You're going to college." There was never anything else that we talked about.
It's not if, it's
It's
where.
not it, it's where, exactly.
Right. Okay.
And so I think that, again, that kind of drove me. And so when I go to when we went to the youth Racine, I saw myself in a lot of those young men. And we had these circles where we talk, and a lot of them, we sat around the room. These are supposedly hardened criminals, but we watched them cry and talk about some of the trauma that they experienced, which, again, kind of translates to kind of why they're there. And then we also work to kind of deal with the trauma. Then let's figure out what we're going to do when we get out. Because oftentimes with the reentry population, they get out and they have nowhere to go, so they're back to the same thing they were doing. And we wanted to provide an outlet so that we paired them with mentors, and I would be one of those mentors, of course, and try to help them get jobs and things of that nature. And when they're feeling like they're falling back into that trap, they can pick the phone up and call me and say, "Hey, I'm kind of going through, here's the situation," and I would pull them in and kind of figure out what we need to do to get them past that point.
Well, it's a work. It's God's work that's being done, working with the youth in any place, inner city, suburbs, wherever, because kids can be easily led astray.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter. Anyway, so talk a little bit about your family.
Yes. So as I mentioned, my mother passed away when I was 11 years old, and raised by my dad. There's 8 siblings in my household, and I'm kind of in the middle. I'm actually in the middle, and I have a brother who he was a teacher. My sister's nursing degree. I mean, so there's a variety of things that we've done. But
so your dad wasn't telling just you to go to college?
Oh no. That was
everybody going.
Yes, there was expectations. And he made it clear every single day that there was those expectations, and he was not settling, and he enforced in us, instilled in us the thought of like, you don't settle. You don't settle. You're greater than your surroundings. Oftentimes saying like you need to be the leader of every situation you're in, and not necessarily be the vocal leader, but in terms of making great decisions and things of that nature, that's kind of what he pushed.
Good. All right, so we call this Serious People with Serious Jobs Having a Little Fun. So I want to give you one of our aprons.
All right.
And while you're putting that on, why don't you tell us what we're making today?
Today we are making southern fried catfish, one of my favorite things to cook. It's very simple, and then seasoned fries, but it doesn't take long. Most people love it. I mean, I oftentimes will tell people I make catfish and they don't believe me, and then I'll let them try it and they love it. And often they ask me to make it for them, so that's what we're going to be making today.
Well, catfish is one of the 2 or 3 most eaten fish. Salmon, tilapia, and catfish are the 3 most that are consumed in the United States. And so I don't want to break any surprises, but I think I saw a pie back there.
There's a pie also.
Ooh.
Again, I didn't mention my grandmother, who has been so inspirational in my life. She would make these pies only on Christmas, and only certain people would get their own pie, and I would be one of those people. And she would tell no one the recipe. And so I at some point figured out what the recipe was, and I make those pies. Now I'll make some for family and friends.
All right, so we're having a fish fry, which is quintessential Milwaukee,
and then a lemon pie.
and a lemon pie. So we're gonna eat well today. So, all right, we've done a little prep work. So give us a minute, and we'll go back here to the kitchen, and we'll be right back. All right, so we're here in the kitchen, and Maudwella, take it away.
Yep. So what we have here is a couple pounds of catfish. We have 2 different seasonings. We're going to go with Cajun seasoning, and then we have traditional just fried fish seasoning. And then within the seasoning batter, I have mixtures of everything here. I put about a tablespoon of this into each bag.
So tablespoon of Lowry's.
Yep. And then a teaspoon of each one of those. So we have adobe.
Goya, adobe, what is that, garlic salt? Oh, yes. Slap Your Mama. As
Sylvia seasoned soul food
I've never
sauce.
seen that one. And what's the last one?
And this is just French fry seasoning. So we're going to add these to the French fries when we get done with them.
So quintessential fish and chips.
Yep.
Or we don't call it fish and chips in Milwaukee. It's called a fish fry.
Right.
All right.
All right. So we're going to start off. We're going to actually mix the fish in the prepared batter.
Okay. And how many fishes do we have?
We got actually about 16. We probably need to cook them
Whoa.
all. We'll get quite a few.
Well, I'm
in
not
there.
that hungry. I'm hungry, but not that hungry.
All right. So we're going to get it in. It's been cleaned, washed,
Okay.
prepped. Get it in, and just going to shake it up, and going to make sure the batter is coating the entire fish. That is the key. And the other key is making sure your grease is hot. I mean, when I first started cooking, I could not figure out why I couldn't keep the batter on. And I learned quickly that I have to make sure that the fish is hot. One way to test to see if the grease is hot enough is just to drop a little of the batter in. If you get that sizzle, you are ready to go.
All right. Looks like we're ready.
All right, I'm going to drop this.
Yeah, look at that. All right. And how long do these take about?
About 10 to 15 minutes. Now, I normally cook on an electric stove, so we'll see. Slightly.
Now you're cooking with gas.
Yeah.
Here, this is me helping.
Oh, yeah. Put another.
I'm such a good helper. All righty.
We got Cajun that we're going to put in here. We'll know that it's Cajun because of the color once it's done. And the batter will slightly look different. All right, so now we're going to drop in our fries. So we got enough oil. Let's just make sure we have. Oh yes, we're good to go.
Look at that. This is a be careful kind of thing.
Slowly, yes.
All right, so we got a lot of fries here. That's okay. And so when should I look to turn these?
We're going to let it brown, and then we'll
Okay.
nice and crispy on one side, and then we'll turn.
So you were telling me you have a French fry cutter, so these are
French fry
uniformly cut.
Yes.
So they'll cook relatively the same amount of time.
See that fish there? Yeah, we want to see it. We get.
All right, let's see what we got here on the fish.
Nice golden brown.
Pretty good to me.
We'll let that sit a little while longer.
Okay. So this is not your usual scale of what you're cooking.
No.
Yeah, we're cooking for a few extras today. I'm very interested in seeing the French fry French fry coating. Do you put those in or you just sprinkle it on top?
Yeah, once I'm done, I'll just sprinkle on top.
Okay. Gotcha.
And this is just like another quick and easy meal. For someone like on a Friday, you want to invite friends over, 20 or 30 minutes, and you have a little meal.
That's what we do in Milwaukee. Friday fish fries.
Yeah, you want to make sure that the coating is on before you flip it. You'll lose your coating in the process. This is the best part of the fish.
The pro flip. You can get you a job at Lakefront Brewery probably on Friday nights if you're interested. Or not. This is me helping again.
All right.
And so we want to take them out and we're going to put them on.
We're going to put them on here and we'll get all the grease out when they're ready to go.
All right. Me helping again. Reach my highest level of incompetence. I'll get back to the French fry master. That's interesting. They fry more on one side. You would think they would have fried more on all the way around. So that's enough for me.
Yeah.
And this is enough for both of us, I think. All right, so these don't get any seasoning. The fish needs no seasoning, correct?
So I actually put the seasoning in the batter. Didn't put a lot, but you have the option of adding after the fact if you want to.
Okay. So our fish is seasoned, and we're going to season the French fries. All right. We got the. Okay. So let's finish up here at the stove. We'll put it all together, and then I think we're gonna. I guess I don't want to eat all of this because there is pie. So maybe I'll be somewhat reserved in my dainty eating. So, all right, give us a minute. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. So, Maudwella, you want to show us the seasoning?
Sure.
And then we'll show you what we made.
So this is the start of the seasoning. It's just a simple Andi seasoning. I usually get the red. There's Cajun. There's traditional yellow cornmeal. So you can figure out what you like and kind of go with it.
And that's pretty much available in most stores, right?
Most stores, yeah.
All right, so here's what we made. So, Maudwella, tell us what we got here.
Yep, so what we have here is, again, traditional southern fried catfish. And then we have a few pieces of the Cajun battered catfish with fries.
And with fries, yes, of course, gotta have fries. And
we have my grandmother's famous lemon pie, which again is to die for.
if we eat all our lunch, we can have pie. All right, now you're the guest. I'm gonna let you go first. I'll hold it. Go ahead.
Okay. Take a piece here.
All right.
Get a few fries to start.
Okie dokie. All right.
I'll hold this.
I got it. I'll go put it back over here. Thanks. I'm a professional. All right. I'm going to take two because they're small. Not really, but. All right. Get some fries on there. I'm going to take a couple pieces of lemon. And we've got some hot sauce.
You have to have the hot sauce.
Hot sauce? I got a little Frisch's tartar sauce for those of you in Cincinnati. Frisch's is a Cincinnati institution. Can't get it here, even though I work with Kroger. And napkin on that. Have a little hot sauce.
Yes, definitely.
All right. And put that over there. And I got a little teeny little salt. Whoop, this teeny little. Alrighty. Ready?
Right.
Let's roll.
Let's dig in.
Squeeze a little lemon on. Seasoned wonderfully. And it's just nice breading. It just is nice and crunchy and soft in the middle and tasty. Well, I think I'll have to try the fries. Can you pass the ketchup, please? Sure. A little ketchup for my fries. I'm not really talking with my mouth full. All right. Then, excuse me. All right. I mean, this is really nicely done.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. I think I might need a little more hot sauce. Just that little teeny bite that I had with it. I used to work with a guy when I was growing up. His name was Smitty. I don't think Smitty's with us any longer. Mm-hmm. But he used to eat fried chicken, and he would take hot sauce. Like corn. He just
put more on there on your butter.
And every bite had, a teaspoon of hot sauce on it. So I never figured out how he existed. But a little bit of hot sauce works for me.
I think the older I get, the less hot sauce I want.
It's just delicious. Okay. One more bite. I mean, I'm going to eat all of this, but I'm just one more bite before I thank Maudwella for coming by with the hot sauce on it. It's done on both sides. It's just great. So, before you take another bite, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity.
The work that you guys are doing and you have done for 20 plus years, commendable. Your volunteer work with the youth correctional facility is it's God's work. It's being done. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we do love this show, Cooking with Community Leaders. Community leaders come in, they tell their story, cook me a good meal, I get to eat it, and you get an apron. So that's the way we roll here. So we always appreciate comments, like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for supporting Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders. All right, we're back. When I say I forgot the pie. So Maudwella's cutting it right now. And we're going to have a slice and make sure it tastes okay.
Warm.
So we're not going to sign off again. All right. That little teeny piece is mine. Not really teeny, but you're a dainty eater. All righty.
Okay.
All right. This is Grandma's?
Yep.
Grandma's ice cream lemon cake thingy. All right. Give it a bite. Lemons there, not overpowering. This might be lunch and dinner. Or for lunch and for dinner. It's really good. Which one? It's just straight whipped cream on top?
Yep. A Cool Whip on top.
What a meal. Most of the guests don't bring desserts, I must say. So thank you very much for that.
Not a problem. It's my favorite dessert, so.
All right, this time we are signing off. So thanks for supporting Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders. Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders is brought to you by Cooking Secrets for Men, LLC, and was recorded in the 3rd Ward in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We feature and profile community leaders who are trying to make Milwaukee a better place. The tagline is, serious people with serious jobs having a little fun. Our guests choose the recipes that we use on the show. All of our podcasts are available on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever you get great podcasts. The original YouTube video for this episode is available on our YouTube channel, Cooking Secrets for Men, all rights reserved. Thanks, and see you next time on Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders.